And I want to welcome everyone to the first part of the Healthy Endocrine System. This is part of the Prevention Plus series, which includes every system of the body. It was developed by myself, Christina Campbell, nationally registered certified master aromatherapist. I also have a bachelor's degree in holistic nutrition and have been with Young Living for going on 16 years this year. And what's even greater is I'm a platinum on my way to diamond here very shortly, hopefully by convention. And so I've got a really good background in this area. I got my diploma degree in aromatherapy with my GI Bill because I have a military background, and it paid 55% of my 3-year degree program. It was not a Young Living degree program. I now recommend if people want to learn about the oils, learn from your upline, learn from these webinars, learn from reading your essential oils desk reference, the EODR, the Big Blue book. Also learn from, reading the books that are out there that have to do with Young Living products, like The Miracle of MSM by Dr. Ronald Stewart, or Lawrence, Healing Oils of the Bible by David Stewart, Essential Oils, The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple by Dr. David Stewart. You will get more information and more learning and training than anywhere. If you want to be a certified aromatherapist, get a hold of ishahealing.com. ishahealing.com. That's a great class to go through. Or raindroptraining.com. So these are great resources for you. And of course, if you're in my particular organization, then you get a resource sheet that we send you upon your sign up, along with a welcome letter and all of that. And I just want to say there's just so much out there now. It isn't like what it was 15 years ago. So don't feel like you have to go and get a degree in aromatherapy. I also want to thank Pamela Hyen for her part that she played in developing this healthy endocrine system. She has turned out to be a crackerjack PowerPoint developer, and together we've developed these for you. They can be purchased at crowndiamondtools.com. Again, that's crowndiamondtools.com, and you'll get a recording of us giving it, and you'll also get your own PowerPoint presentation. If you're in my organization, just contact me. That's something that I gift to my people. So I just encourage you to get the learning that you need, and let's just get started with the Healthy Endocrine System, Balancing Hormones Naturally, Part 1. So what you're going to learn in this particular Part 1 is which organs make up the endocrine system, and I think you're going to be really surprised because it's a lot more complicated than meets the eye. We're also going to talk about how the endocrine system functions and affects our overall health, why hormone testing is important, how to support hormone production. And I have a poignant question that was asked me prior to this particular presentation tonight, and I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability. So we're going to learn how to support hormone production, how our environment plays a role in our endocrine system, why synthetic hormones are dangerous, and how to support the body through the stages of menopause. And this would include hot flashes and night sweats and inability to sleep and a myriad of other things that kind of afflict us or affect us as we go from normal menses to perimenopause and then premenopause, menopause, and perimenopause. So here's a little depiction of what is the endocrine system, and you're going to see all of these organs are involved. This is a system of glands and organs, and these glands and organs secrete types of hormones that circulate via the bloodstream. They regulate body activities and other biological features. This includes the hypothalamus, that's in the brain. The pituitary is in the brain. The thyroid. Can you hear me yet? You can hear me now? All right, I'm going to hang up. Thanks, Cookie. Okay, I don't know what happened there, guys, and I apologize, but it said that my system lost connection or whatever. So you didn't miss anything. It went off as soon as you guys realized it. Okay, so what I was talking about, the adrenals are up here, and the parathyroid, we're going to talk a lot about that. So these are a series of signaling glands that create a communication network known as an axis. I got to make sure that I am recording. I forgot to, yeah, I'm still recording, I guess. So hopefully this recording will be okay. And the good news is that I've done these webinars for so many years now that in the event of a crisis, I can always send out a previously recorded endocrine system. So not much changes. Okay, so not all organs that secrete hormones or hormone-like substances are considered part of the endocrine system, but these are. Okay, and I know too that if anything goes awry, that Cookie will give me a call right away, so we shouldn't be in alert here. Okay, so the endocrine system function. This is pretty cool. It circulates hormones throughout the body, influencing certain organs and tissues. And some of these hormones only affect one or two organs, whereas others have influence throughout the body. Hormones are the body's chemical messengers, and you can see them in the bloodstream here, and they're going to target cells or throughout the entire body. And these chemical messengers are critical to maintaining vibrant health, and a tiny amount of hormone can result in big changes in the cells or even the whole body. So you don't want to overdo it with hormones. You want to, use things that are natural, things that communicate well cell to cell, and we're going to learn about those things. So hormone health and testing. Hormones help with good brain function and in maintaining optimal body functions, and they work to help keep us young. This is the whole thing about longevity. My goal is to live to be 120, and I know that's probably pretty over the top for some of you, but I'm over halfway there, and I feel like if we maintain our health and not go by the standard that we have here in our country, if we maintain our health, our physical, mental, spiritual, emotional health, then I think that we can gain a lot of years that were actually biblically promised us. And I think that we've cut it short just because we don't continue to do physical work. We're not working out. You're not walking miles a day. You're not chopping wood. You're not doing all these things that help the muscles stay young. We're not eating good food. Remember, we're going to talk a lot about chemical toxins and how they're affecting hormone production. Progesterone balances estrogen, giving a feeling of well-being and positive attitude. And that statement in and of itself, I really want you to understand this statement. And this is in partial answer to the question that was written to me earlier. We do not, I think it is a misnomer to say that we have estrogen dominance in our society. The problem, according to Dr. Purser, and I align with his philosophy and Dr. Gary Young's philosophy, is that we don't have enough progesterone. So we need more progesterone in order to balance the youth hormone of estrogen. We need the estrogen hormone, and I'm going to tell you why as we go along. You're going to learn a lot of things of what the estrogen does to your body and to your hair and to your skin, and what progesterone does. Progesterone and testosterone increase physical desire. So if you don't have physical desire, then my recommendation is, and if you're a man, you're going to be taking PD-80-20. And if you're a woman, you're going to be taking Proest Plus. And if you're a woman and you need more testosterone, and I think many of us do if we have waning muscle tissue and the like, then you're going to be thinking seriously about more blue spruce and even using Shutron. the new wonderful oil that I love, love, love the smell of. I love it on my husband, but I love it on myself. And he doesn't know that I keep sneaking his Shutron. So I guess I'm going to have to buy some more so that we have enough for the both of us. Testosterone helps build muscle and decrease fat. Now that should be really important to someone who is in perimenopause, in menopause, or postmenopausal, because we tend to store fat because we don't have enough testosterone, we don't have enough progesterone, and we're going estrogen crazy. So again, it's not that we have too much estrogen, it's that we don't have enough progesterone and in some cases testosterone. Estrogen and testosterone convert bad cholesterol, LDL, to good cholesterol, HDL. So if you've got high LDL, you probably don't have enough testosterone, especially if you're a man. And a lot of times that's directly related to thyroid production. So see how interconnected these glands and systems are? It's mind-boggling. So that's why it's really important to have your hormone levels tested by requesting a blood hormone panel. A hormone panel should be taken every week for 4 weeks to cover the complete cycle for best results. However, if that's not possible, and I understand, you know, it could be cost prohibitive, then do what you can. And then after the analysis, it's recommended that a hormone specialist evaluate the results. Now, we've gone one step better. I have the hormone panel that Dr. Dan Purser puts out, and it tells you on that hormone panel what the optimum range is according to his standards. And I think that he is far more advanced in his understanding of these balanced hormones than any endocrinologist I've ever come across in my 60-plus years. So I hold him in very, very high esteem. I will tell you that. Very high esteem. If you're wanting to get that particular hormone panel, we will do what we can to attach it to the email when we send out this recording. However, that may not be possible. So what you need to do is you need to email me at oil_lady@vibrantsense.com. And either Vonnie or Cookie will type it in the chat box there so that you can email me and ask me for that hormone panel, and I'd be glad to send it to you. The standard blood tests are designed to only pick up the sickest 2.5% of the population, and individuals often suffer for years being told that their thyroid or testosterone or estrogen or progesterone and adrenal levels are fine. Your thyroid is just fine, and it's because we don't have a healthy standard, in my estimation. This is my opinion. I'm not here to prescribe or diagnose. I want to make that perfectly clear. I am not a medical doctor. I am only a nutritionist and an aromatherapist. However, I am telling you what I have learned from doctors over the years. So I'm just passing on great information. So here's some things that can support hormone production. And the first thing that I like to talk about is Cleanse. And the reason is because cleansing the liver is really, really important. Now, there's kind of a process in cleansing the body. The first step in cleansing the body is cleansing the colon. And I didn't go to that degree here in this presentation because that's in the digestive presentation. But I'm just going to use that as a precursor that you need to use the cleansing trio, Young Living's cleansing trio, and cleanse the colon first, and then follow that with cleansing the liver, because you don't want to dump a dirty liver into an already dirty colon. You're just dumping garbage onto garbage. So number 2 would be cleansing the liver. This helps to stimulate proper, healthy hormone production. It helps with body detoxification. It helps with the glycogen storage or the glucose storage. And, of course, it aids in digestive health. Anything that has to do with the Juva products in Young Living are all liver-related. Apply the Juva Cleanse over the liver and on the kidneys and the liver VitaFX points on the bottom of the feet. This blend is also beneficial when used in a raindrop technique. You can take one capsule 2 times a day. Now, I will tell you that there's been studies on JuvaCleanse. It was done in 2003, if I remember correctly, by Dr. Lewis. And what he tested was heavy metal chelation with JuvaCleanse and found it to be very, very effective. But more important, he tested this on hepatitis C. So if you look in your essential oil desk reference under JuvaCleanse, and I don't even see it in here right now, but under JuvaCleanse, oh yeah, it's under the essential oils. It gives you that 2003 study conducted by Roger Lewis, who's an MD. He was at the clinic, at the Young Life Research Clinic, when I was there in Springville, Utah in 2003. He evaluated the efficacy of these oils in this blend in treating cases of advanced hepatitis C. The viral counts went down dramatically. So this is an excellent, excellent oil for liver and body detoxification. The second thing that you want to look at is supporting hormone production is to make sure that you're digesting your food properly and that you're doing it by taking enzymes. You may not be aware, but enzymes are catalysts. Without enzymes, our body cannot fully function. And so Essentialzyme 4 was a multi-spectrum enzyme complex that was developed to ensure successful hormone therapy for both men and women. We need to be taking our enzymes. I prefer to put Essentialzyme 4 in my pocketbook and carry it with me so that when I'm out eating out or whatever, I have them right there. And then it's an easy way to carry them. And the Essentialzyme is what I use at home, and my mom uses Essentialzyme. And it's an advanced multi-enzyme general purpose complex that promotes digestion and assists in the assimilation of nutrients, but more importantly is a catalyst to many of those nutrients so that they can do the job that they need to do so that your body can produce the hormones that it needs to produce. So if you're not taking enzymes, I think it's imperative. I think it's one thing that should be added to every single person's dietary regime. And what you do is you just take 2 Essentialzyme before a meal, or in the blister packs of the Essentialzyme 4, you're taking the light colored and the darker colored one before a meal. And that's all you need. If you get upset, if you've overeaten, you can take more. If you've got an upset stomach or you have a flu or a fever, taking multiple Essentialzymes or Essentialzyme 4 can really be helpful to getting you over the hump of illness. Here is the part of the cleansing trio is ICP. JuvaPower again is going to be supporting the liver. And ICP increases fiber to enhance normal bowel function and aid in the removal of toxins from the body. Whereas JuvaPower is a rich source of acid-binding foods. It's high in liver-protective nutrients. So a lot of times our hormones are not doing what they're supposed to do because our liver is toxic, and our liver is not as healthy as it could be or should be. So acid-binding foods assist our body to achieve a more alkaline state, and these foods attract the acid as they pass through the digestive system and are then eliminated, helping the body to achieve a more balanced pH level. So what causes endocrine imbalances? Well, an overload of chemical toxins found in the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water and the products that we use daily. Reducing your estrogen load is a key component that everyone should follow. So start in your home with the following. Wash your food well to rid it of pesticides, and I highly recommend that you wash it in a little bit of feed cleaner. This is a great way to get rid of those toxic chemicals. Throw away all pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides in the home. Don't have any contact with them. I want to just give you a little heads up that if you buy mulch and put it around your house, that is heavy laden with insecticides. And I didn't realize this until one summer many years ago. I was out helping my husband. I love working in the yard. And I was helping my husband spread mulch under all of our shrubs and around our plants and flowers. And I broke out in blisters from head to toe. And upon research, found that it was the insecticide in the mulch. And I had a horrible toxic reaction to it. So just to let you know that breathing this stuff in, and we went to the home show the other day here in the St. Louis area, and a lot of these landscapers, they had their beautiful setups, with their mulch and their rock and their brick and their ponds and their flowers, hyacinths, everything. It was gorgeous. But the smell of the mulch was almost nauseating. And now my back is, I had a treatment today with my myopractor, Nancy Means, and she says, you're all broke out on your back. And I didn't really think about it, but yeah, it was probably that insecticide. Because I had mentioned to Kenneth, I said, this stuff smells horrible. We need to get out of here. And I was mentioning it to Bonnie, too. Oh, it smells horrible. So just think about, what are you getting into contact with? Throw away any cosmetics that have toxic ingredients and switch to estrogen-free cosmetics. Don't use fabric softeners or perfumed laundry detergent, as it puts petrochemicals right on your skin. And I'm here to tell you that we've got a great Beads laundry soap, a homemade laundry soap that you can make that's pretty much toxic-free. I'm not a promoter of borax. I think that it can cause cell damage as well. So I don't include that in my washing powders. But there's so many out there that are HE, compliant for these new wash machines. And, oh, by the way, fragrance-free. And, oh, by the way, they are non-toxic or organic. So look for those types of things. If you have a health food store, a lot of times they'll provide those kinds of things for you. Use only naturally based perfumes. I recommend only using essential oils for perfume. If you like a flowery scent, try jasmine. Try putting a little jasmine and blue spruce together. Find that signature blend that says, this is me. And use that as your perfume. Both perfumes are petrochemically based. Have a good water filter. The cheapest, the most inexpensive water purification system that you can get is Zero Water. It's called Zero Water. You can get it from Walmart. I think Target has it. But Zero Water. It's a water filter, and it takes out all the particulates. We use it in our motorhome, in our RV fifth wheel when we're on the road, in addition to a filter from the faucet, so that I don't have to take a shower in chemical water. Do not use plastic goods, since all plastic leaches estrogens into the environment. Use glass containers. Go back to how it was when we were growing up. If you're over 60, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're younger than 60, glass is beautiful. Eat only organic-based whole foods. Avoid surfactants found in many condoms and diaphragm gels. Do not microwave food in plastic containers, and especially avoid the use of plastic wrap to cover foods for microwaving. So these are just a few little tips to keep you a little bit healthier and to stay away from the xenoestrogens, or they're the synthetic estrogens. So let's look at endocrine disrupting substances, or EDSs. Chemicals have a molecular structure that binds with the receptors in the hormone secreting glands, thereby disrupting the normal hormone production process. Common endocrine disruptors studied included DDT, which is a banned pesticide that is still used in some African nations today. PCBs, present in electrical equipment manufactured in third world nations, but we find it in our water systems all the time. Dioxins, a byproduct from the production of paper and found in the lining of cans used for preserving food. Preserve your own food. I do my own canning. I can my own tomatoes, my own green beans. We do our own okra, and the list goes on. And we have 6 raised beds that we are growing our food in because we want to get the very best. We don't want poisons on our food. Vinclozolin, this is a common fungicide used on fruits, and it doesn't wash away easily, and that's why I'm recommending using a little bit of thieves' cleaner in your wash water. And toluene is found in inks, glues, color coatings, and paints. And I know that I had a horrible reaction to Rust-Oleum paint one summer. Pam had given me a Zydo and said, "Have you been painting?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And she said, "Well, you got into a dioxide, and that's what's showing up in your blood, and that's why you're broke out so bad." And sure enough, so we have to watch even those things. It can cause reduced sperm count, infertility, testicular cancer, and reduced sexual behavior among middle-aged males. It produces reduced immunity. Breast cancer could develop, and malignant melanomas among women. So we need to stay away from these things. Here are some endocrine disruptor products. This is according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services household database. And I thought I used to have that database on here, but just look up, if you're going to Google, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services household product database. And here's just a few. I just mentioned a few. These are endocrine disruptors. And there should be no reason why you would be using any of these toothpastes or mouthwashes, because Young Living provides the very best toothpaste and the very best mouthwash money can buy today. There shouldn't even be a question. But if you're not aware, or you're wanting to, be an advocate of educating your neighbors, your friends, and your family members, then tell them these are not healthy for us. Here's some more endocrine disruptor products. Antibacterial dish soap, hand and body soap. And we have the greatest hand pump soap, lavender and thieves. There's no need for us to buy these poisons and put them in our bathrooms. And also, if you're a massage therapist, or you have a clinic, or you're a chiropractor, these hand soap should be the soap that your clients are using when they go in, and not these less expensive soft soaps, perfumey endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptor products, again, are air fresheners and sanitizers, and again, there's no reason why we should be using any of this, because we have our beautiful diffusers, and we're putting oxygenating molecules of essential oils in the air and in our lungs, where they should be to do their work. And here's some other shampoos and deodorants, and again, we have the best. I love our Mountain Mint. It is the very best deodorant for me. I've been using it ever since it came out. I wouldn't use anything else. I would be afraid to use anything else. And I've also used the shampoo for 16 years. Love their shampoo. I use the lavender. I love the lavender. And I use the lavender mint shampoo. I like both of those, because you can still get the regular old-timey lavender, the original one that they had many years ago. So there's no reason why you would be using endocrine disrupting products on your scalp, next to your brain, or under your arms, next to your breast. There's just no reason for it whatsoever. And here's some makeup that are endocrine disruptors, and body lotions. There should be no reason why we would be using over-the-counter body lotions when we have an array. We have lavender body lotion, Genesis, Sensation body lotion. I think those are the three that I use, and I like them all. And I think in the month of February, if your PV was high enough, you got a free bottle of lavender lotion. That was pretty cool. Here are endocrine disruptor products, and don't think that these don't stay in your clothes. And then you put these clothes on, and then you're wearing these perfumes and these chemicals next to your body. So just because they went through the rinse cycle doesn't mean that it's not in your clothing. And same thing with Bounce. I tell you, some of these, when you stay away from this stuff for a long time, some of these detergents smell so bad when you go down the detergent aisle that it makes you nauseous. So again, I wanted to just mention about estrogen dominance. This is when estrogen levels are normal, but your progesterone levels are low. If you feel that you have estrogen dominance, then you need to add more progesterone to the mix. Symptoms of estrogen dominance are hair loss, breast cancer, sluggish metabolism, decreased sex drive, breast tenderness, foggy thinking, fatigue, irritability, insomnia, memory loss, mood swings, and osteoporosis. Water retention and bloating, acceleration of the aging process, cold hands and feet as a symptom of a thyroid dysfunction, depression with anxiety or agitation, fat gain, especially around the abdomen, hips, and thighs. Now, look at your activity level as well, and also look at the amount of food that you might be eating. It isn't always what we're eating. It could very well be the amount, or in some cases, it may not be the amount. It may be what you're eating. So if you're eating healthy and you're eating in, moderate portions, and you're still getting fat gain, it could be estrogen dominance or not enough progesterone. That's my point, not enough progesterone. Increased blood clotting or increased risk of stroke. From age 35 to 50, there is a 75% reduction in production of progesterone in the body. So this is common, 75% reduction in production. That's common. Common estrogen dominance conditions are breast cancer, fibroids, endometriosis, polycystic ovary syndrome or PCOS, fibrocystic breast, premenopausal syndrome, premenstrual syndrome, PMS. So, recommendations for EDS or estrogen dominant syndrome. Again, I'm not diagnosing or prescribing. I'm just saying that if it were me, I would be taking Ultra Young Spray to support the pituitary gland. I believe that right now it's still out of stock, but keep your eye open for this. This is something that you should be taking. Use Proest Plus if you're a woman. Feed the pancreas with Ningxia Red and Ocotea essential oil. The Ocotea will balance the blood sugar, and it will help to support the pancreas. Clean the colon with the cleansing trio and support the liver with things like Juva Cleanse, Juva Power, Juva Spice, Juva Flex, all of the Juva products. Very, very good for that. Synthetic hormones are dangerous. Patented synthetic hormones are different biochemically from their natural hormones found in plants and the human body, and their effects can be hazardous to your health. They're linked with higher risks of heart disease, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, and osteoporosis. I would recommend, this is just a sister talking to other sisters out there, get off of synthetic hormone. It's dangerous. Premarin, there's so many names out there now, I don't even keep up with them. But if it's a synthetic prescriptive medication, think seriously, sister to sister, about going naturally. Pituitary gland. This is our master gland, folks. This is our master gland. It's about the size of a pea, even though it's, like the big daddy gland, it's really very small. It's located on the bottom of the hypothalamus, at the base of the brain, and it rests in a very small bony cavity. That's it right in there, right in the center. It helps control blood pressure. It helps to control growth and development. It promotes protein production. It controls reproductive functions, controls the secretion and production of hormones in the adrenal and thyroid glands. So if the pituitary gland isn't working, then you're probably not getting enough adrenal hormone and thyroid hormone. The hypothalamus, on the other hand, regulates key functions of the body. It controls the activity of the heart muscle and the smooth muscles of the body. It regulates emotional and behavior patterns. It controls body temperature and regulates the 24-hour cycle in biochemical, psychological, or behavioral processes. It controls pituitary gland secretion. See how it's connected to the pituitary? And it responds to stimuli such as stress, pain, and emotions in our environment and our internal system. I know one of the things that I've heard from many young women is that if they've been in a traumatic situation, they broke a leg, or they've gotten to a divorce, or they're having whatever traumatic situation, they'll actually have their period many more times than normal, like maybe 2 or 3 times in a month. It's because stress is affecting this hypothalamus, which is in turn affecting the pituitary, which in turn affects everything else. So it's no wonder. So what we have to do is find ways to de-stress, to get our body back in balance. The pineal gland, or pineal gland, secretes the hormone melatonin. This is kind of the sleep gland, right? Causes feelings of sleepiness, regulates the endocrine function. So again, we have all these regulators. One goes haywire, the whole system seems to go haywire. And that's why it's so important to really work on keeping our bodies as healthy as physically possible. I'll talk a little bit about this melatonin, the hormone of sleep. The pineal gland produces melatonin when it's dark. Melatonin regulates sleep, boosts the immune system, reduces anxiety, it scavengers free radicals, and it prevents DNA damage, and it regulates metabolism. And there's some oils that help produce, help the body, help the pineal gland to produce this melatonin. Those oils are actually contained in sleep essence. This is a natural melatonin to induce sleep. It has lavender, which has calming and relaxing properties. It has vetiver in it, which eases anxiety and alleviates stress. It has valerian, which is effective for restlessness, for nervous conditions. It has tangerine, which decongests the lymphatic system. And it has ruta, which has sedative and antispasmodic qualities. Just taking 1 to 2 soft gel capsules 30 to 60 minutes before going to bed can help get your body relaxed enough to go into that state of sleep. ImmuPro is also a great supplement that contains melatonin. And the thing that I like about ImmuPro is it boosts and strengthens the immune system at the same time. It supports healthy bones, skin, and hair. It promotes colon health. And it's a powerful preventative for premature aging, cardiovascular disease, male and female sexual dysfunction, menopausal problems, and skin disorders. Just take 1 or 2 tablets before retiring. And if you're under stress, take 2 to 4 tablets before retiring. So here are 2 oils that I actually talk about in the 12 Oils of Ancient Scripture that help to stimulate the melatonin production in the brain: cedarwood and sandalwood. I love to anoint my head with cedarwood at night. It's great for producing that deep sleep. You can also rub your big toe, because that's the vitaflex point of the brain. These oils can promote relaxation, oxygenate, and stimulate the pineal and pituitary gland in the brain. Just directly inhale it or diffuse it. DHEA, this is for vibrant health, most common hormone in the body. Produces both male and female hormones. Balances cortisol levels. Retards premature aging. Builds lean muscle tissue. Blocks fat tissue and cancer cells. Protects against degenerative disease. Improves memory. Normalizes weight. Improves sex life and boosts energy. We want to stay young. All of these things can help. And Ultra Young with DHEA is one of those things. And again, I think it's out of stock right now. They are in a reformulation on this product, but I'm hoping that it should be out any minute, any day. So keep an eye on this. It's recommended for both males and females over the age of 40. It supports healthy pituitary and growth hormone secretion, restores the sensitivity of the hypothalamus. It may help the thyroid to produce thyroid hormone. All you have to do is spray it inside the cheeks and on the roof of the mouth in the morning, 1 to 2 hours before or after meals and before retiring. Avoid swallowing for 1 to 2 minutes because you want it to absorb in that buccal cavity on the inside of the mouth. Proest Plus has DHEA. So if you can't get it in the ultra young, get Proest Plus. And this can be used, again, by both males and females. In fact, I think I'm going to order some of this. It's recommended for insufficient testosterone levels. So it's also recommended for insufficient DHEA levels. All you have to do is massage 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon into the tissue of the arms, or thighs, or abdomen, or neck. Okay, see, I had to make a note. I had to write that down. I need to get some more of this. Okay, this is great stuff. It really is. It's a very nice skin cream, and it will just help with these things. Okay, here's a Pineal testimonial. And this is by Shauna Daystrup, a woman out of Utah. She says, having suffered from hot flashes and tried all of the Young Living products, including the old Estro, which was years ago, by the way, folks, nothing seemed to stop them completely. I ordered the Proest Plus, and when it came out a couple of years ago, and have been using this product ever since. No more hot flashes. I'm also using Endoflex on my ankle. Since I had a hysterectomy 28 years ago, I do not follow the 21 days on, 7 days off. I just use it every day. Gary Young has truly come up with a product I needed. Now, a lot of times, for those of you who use Proest Plus on a regular basis, that is probably the #1 delivery system. Most people love that oil. And you put it on the carotid artery, or you can put it on the inside of the wrist, and it goes directly into the bloodstream. It's great. But a lot of times we run out. And so if we run out, then Proest Plus is the next go-to. Or if you want to try Proest Plus first, if it works for you, great. You don't have to go any further than that. If it doesn't work for you, try Proest Plus. But I would recommend that you have one of each around the house so that you don't run out, for one thing, and maybe just mix it up a little bit. Do Proest for a couple of days and then try Proest Plus for a couple of days. But don't quit using progesterone. I think every woman, and this is a quote from Dan Purser, Dr. Purser, every woman from the age of 12 to 112 should be using Proest Plus. Or, you know, Proest Plus has the DHEA, so it's really good for women over 40. But we need this progesterone. We definitely need this progesterone. PD8020 is recommended for men and women over 40. It's prevention of premature aging. It maintains adequate hormone reserves for sustaining health and preventing premature aging. It's a natural all-over hormone support. Contains DHEA as well. And Dr. Purser has recommended this highly for men that have, you know, sexual dysfunction because of the high progesterone and testosterone in producing elements in this capsule. So this is good for them as well. Endogize. Now that's something that in our home we take every single day. Endogize is specially formulated to support and maintain a healthy, balanced endocrine system. It contains DHEA as well. I find that this is the one thing that keeps my libido up, is my Endogize. Love this stuff. I take 2 capsules every single morning. And then I take 2 capsules of Thyromin every single night. Now that's based on my hormone panel that I had taken and had read by Dr. Purser. So, I mean, it could work for you without having to do the hormone panel. But remember, I'm 62. I'm perimenopausal, postmenopausal, excuse me, and I use Clary Sage every day on my ankle. You can use Scleressence or Lady Sclerol. so that I can balance my estrogen as well, and we're going to be talking about that. But, you know, everybody's body is a little bit different, and I have actually found what works for me, and that's what works for me. So you've got to find what works for you, and I think that's why it's so important about getting a hormone panel. But you can shoot in the dark. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. You can't hurt yourself with this. It's natural. You know, I mean, unless you probably, I don't even think you could take a whole bottle, but I'm not recommending that, obviously. Follow the recommended daily dosage on the bottle, and you should be pretty close. Or if you do have some thyroid problems, you might need to be taking more thyromin. It's totally your call. Cortisol levels. This is called the stress hormone. It's important for normal function of the brain, the immune system, the muscle tone and strength, the blood circulation, and the sugar levels. High cortisol symptoms are obesity, rapid weight gain, blood sugar imbalances, and high blood pressure. Low cortisol symptoms are adrenal exhaustion, cardiac arrest, low sex drive, depression, increased blood pressure, and decreased thyroid function. Also, low cortisol is muscle wasting, mental fatigue, chronic fatigue, and lower immune resistance. So look at which list you may be falling in. Not saying that you're falling in either one of these, but just make a note. And if you fall in either one of those, you may want to take Cortisol. It's recommended for estrogen dominance to counter rising cortisol levels, used in conjunction with Pineal Plus cream and or Proest Plus. It supports the female glandular system and balances cortisol production. One capsule before breakfast, another before bedtime. Use daily for 8 weeks and then discontinue for 2 to 4 weeks before resuming. I will tell you that I don't discontinue my Endocrine at all. I take it continually. So, and that was recommended by Dr. Purser, that there was no reason after being postmenopausal for me to stop taking, you know, these hormone enhancers. So, female and male hormones. Female ovaries produce eggs or ova and female hormones. They regulate the menstrual cycle and pregnancy, and the male testes produce and store sperm. The main source of the male hormone is testosterone. So let's talk about stages of menopause, and we have about 10 minutes left, so I'm hoping that we get to the end of this first part tonight. Perimenopause. This means around menopause. This is like occurring years before menopause, usually about 4 or 5 years, so it varies. And some of the things that go on with perimenopause, and I remember this distinctly because, number one, I wasn't on Young Living. I hadn't been introduced to Young Living. And it was pretty dramatic. I experienced massive hot flashes, sleep disturbances. I didn't think I had mood swings, but everybody around me thought I had mood swings, so I guess I did. I had night sweats terribly. It's still possible to conceive a child during this stage because you're still going through menses, your menstrual cycle. It ends this particular stage of menopause ends a year after your final period. That's the official start of menopause. It's 1 entire year after your last period. Common signs and symptoms associated with menopause: irregular menstrual periods. I remember that my periods were so heavy. I remember they wanted to do a DNC. They were so heavy, and I said no. This has got to be normal. But what I didn't know was that there were natural things out there, like I should have been taking some Proest Plus, and I would have had these problems, these hot flashes and night sweat. I had severe vaginal dryness, and what I found, and that was actually postmenopausal, and what I found with that was that the clary sage fixed that right up. It fixed it right up. I don't know. I had to keep using it and using it. I even used clary sage and sclerostin vaginally. I could put it in a capsule and then I could use it that way, insert it that way. But now all I have to do is just roll it on the inside of my ankles, and I'm fine all the time. I don't get it anymore. Sleep problems, mood swings, increased fat around the abdomen, thinning hair. I was getting thinning hair. I think now that I do my estrogen, my clary sage, that's your natural estrogen, every day or close to every day, my hair is staying really healthy and thick. Decreased breast fullness. I will tell you that Proest Plus will make the girls light and fluffy. That's a quote from Dr. Dan Purser. So this all helps us stay youthful, and that's why we should be on these natural products, I think. Post-menopause, this is the years after reaching menopause where the ovaries no longer release eggs and production of sex hormones sharply declines. And this is when you really, really, really need to be on Young Living products in full swing. So here's my favorite, Clary Sage. In fact, I've got it right here next to me. I have a roller ball on it. That's how I apply it. And it goes on my ankles every day. And I have my Proest Plus, which I've also put a roller ball on. And I put that on the inside of my wrist because my neck is a little sensitive to some of the oils. So apply it on the VitaFlex point. The VitaFlex point for the for estrogen uptake is the inside of the ankle, around the inside of the ankle. And you can use 6 to 8 drops of clary sage on your lower back during PMS. I don't have that anymore, but that's a great one. Or you can use sage. They're both really great. These oils are studied based on extracts of the leaves of the sage and alfalfa in the treatment of hot flashes in 30 menopausal women and these symptoms. So, the question was asked or stated as well. I take Ningxia Red every day, and when I take Ningxia Red, I get hot flashes. And first of all, to the person who wrote me that email, I'm so sorry that you're suffering because I understand how uncomfortable that is. The problem is that we don't know if you're having a low progesterone or a low estrogen. If you are following a lot of the guidelines that I've mentioned in the front part of this presentation, then I would say that it's probably not that you have high estrogen, but that you need Proest Plus. I would try that for a few weeks. If it doesn't, if your hot flashes don't subside, add clary sage to it. If it doesn't subside, then I would recommend that you get a hormone test based on Dr. Purser's hormone panel so that you can get a better definitive answer to what is it that's really causing this. I don't believe that it's the Ningxia Red causing hot flashes, but it is kind of curious that you get them just when you drink the Ningxia Red. It could be the phytoestrogens in the fruit. It could be. Also, it could be striving to get your body in balance, and in doing so, because your body isn't producing the hormones, that it could be throwing you in the opposite direction. Again, I'm not a doctor. I cannot prescribe or diagnose, but I would recommend those two products to start with, and if they don't work, get a hormone panel. That's my answer to that question. So another thing that if you find that your hormone panel is very low on estrogen, there are cases where estro needs to be added. And this is really for younger women, women with PMS. It can be menopause problems. If you're not getting enough estrogen, you'll have imbalanced hormones. You might go into perimenopause early. If you have menstrual cramping, estro might be a nice tincture to add. This is a natural herbal tincture. Start with a 1 dropper 2 or 3 times daily. Increase as needed to as much as 8 droppers daily, and you may take it as long as 4 weeks to reach maximum effectiveness. In other words, it needs to reach a blood level. Dr. Purser states that 98% of the women who have not had problems with 98% of the women have not had problems with Proest Plus, and that the 2% that do need to balance it with either Femegen, which is a capsule that we have, or Estro, as they're also low in estrogen. Here is a testimonial. Using the essential oils desk reference, I was able to discover that clary sage and geranium are two oils helpful for hormone regulation. That's so true, Dawn. So she uses a blend of 4 parts clary sage, 2 parts geranium, and 2 parts of carrier oil for relief of hot flashes. Notice the clary sage. While they are not completely eliminated, I don't suffer from night sweats at all, and the few hot flashes I do get are very manageable. I apply the blend to the area inside the ankles, and I've been given this blend to several other women who've also had relief. One coworker wasn't sleeping because of the night sweats and found immediate relief. So there you go. There's a really nice hormone balancing blend that you can create for yourself. Endoflex might be another one to try. Sclera Essence and Lady Sclerol, these are other blends that you might want to try. But a lot of times it's just finding the right thing and sticking with it long enough to see if there's a difference. And 90 days is how long it takes for the cells of the body to rejuvenate themselves. So give it 90 days. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, try something else. Actually, Gary has used his rule of thumb. If you don't get relief after the 3rd application, try another oil. I've heard that before from him. So essential oils and hormones. Clinical studies conducted at PC University in 2002 and the University of Bradford in the UK have both shown that topical hormone creams with essential oils have a greater ability to penetrate through the skin and enter into the bloodstream much more quickly than those that did not have essential oils. Make sure that you're using topical creams that are free of chemicals, that have natural, plant extracts and products in them, with no sodium lauryl sulfate, no propylene glycol, no parabens, no plastics or petroleum. And that's why we feel that it's so safe to stay with Young Living. I would say buy from your own store. Why buy from anybody else? So here's our Progesterone Plus, and it's recommended for estrogen dominance, menopausal symptoms, which include hot flashes, PMS symptoms, cranky, get rid of that cranky and witchiness with Progesterone Plus. If you've had a hysterectomy, you need to add Progesterone Plus, or if you're suffering or have been diagnosed with osteoporosis. This is a micronized progesterone, and it's been studied for over 12 years. It seems to cause cancer cells to pop, and it assists in preventing cancer by not allowing estrogen to be dominant in the body. It also tends to clean out cancer-causing xenoestrogens. And this is a quote by Dr. Dan Purser, MD. Rub 1 to 2 drops over the carotid artery and or the wrist. Progesterone Plus will help with polycystic ovary syndrome as well. Here's another testimonial by Myrna out of Canada. I had been suffering from symptoms of menopause for years, and when I went to the Young Living Convention last year, I purchased the Progesterone Plus and began using it. Within 3 weeks, all of the night sweats, all of the hot flashes, mood swings, and low libido that I had been experiencing disappeared. What a new lease on life. Every woman in the world should have a bottle, in my opinion, and the world would be a whole lot happier place. And Cindy Gould of Colorado says, once I turned 50, I began having hot flashes, trouble sleeping, and mood swings. I've now been using Young Living Progesterone Plus serum since it was introduced at the 2010 convention. I am sleeping better, mood swings are under control, and my hot flashes are few and far between. So easy to use, and just 2 drops daily work for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was tonight's Healthy Endocrine System Part 1. I know that we covered a lot of information, and I know you were probably taking notes ferociously out there, and I appreciate that. I am going to take a minute to see if there are any questions that I can answer. I'm going to stop the recording right now.